Water and sanitation are at the heart of sustainable development and therefore key in achieving of other sustainable development goals. Poor and inadequate water and sanitation is a leading cause of poverty, mobility, and mortality in a number of countries. The provision of safe and affordable water has bigger social and economic benefits. Providing affordable water saves lives and reduces the burden on healthcare as well as freeing up economic resources.
Before we had this water,
Justine Nabakuba, a child development officer sponsored donor relations for Kabingo Child Development Center, reports that before they received piped water to the church and community, they used to face a problem of collecting water from a distant place and moreover unclean water which was shared by animals and human beings. John Bosco Kwanga, the project director Kabingo Child Development Center, reports that their team assessed and identified a problem of water scarcity, whereby they sat down and wrote a proposal to Compassion International, which successfully funded the Safe Water Extension Project. Margaret Atwinomjuni, one of the community beneficiary, mother to Tushabire, who the church supports, reports that she used to collect water from a far point, and now that it has been brought closer to her place, she plans on making bricks that she will use for construction, irrigating her green vegetables and her banana plantation during dry season.
It's called a gravity flow. So it means where water is coming from has to be higher than where it's going. Just on the gravity what? On the gravity flow. We had to make a trench, and in that trench we had to arrange hard cores and aggregates.
Yes.
Arranging those ones, we were just after filtrating the water that was coming from the hill. Because when it's coming, it has some impurities. So meaning, before entering the screening chamber, we had to filter it so that when it's enter here, it's clean.
Engineer Gerald Canada, the brains behind the extension of water scheme to the church and the communities, explains how his team harvested the water from the eye points, tested its safety, and had to use a natural gravity to extend it to the persons of concern.
Amazina ganje nwanyita Reverend Mrumba Mathias kandi ndiyo muhiriza warahanga awe.
Reverend Mathias Mulumba, the overseer, above all thanks the Almighty God for keeping them alive and the church developing since 2004 when Kabingo Full Gospel Church was established. He continues to thank God for the mercy extended towards them, for bringing friends from the Compassion International and generously partnered with the church. The church was supported with construction of 4 classroom blocks, 8 sack pit latrines, constructed rainwater harvest tanks, constructed houses for vulnerable families, to mention but a few. And now God has again showed them mercy by extending piped water through gravitational flow from the hills of Kitabikire through the community and to the church. He thanks the government of Uganda, from the community members, local council leaders who have protected the church and linked them with the community in hard times and good times of work. He again thanks the government of Uganda for giving her citizens freedom of worship and providing them with a license which gave them a go-ahead to extend water to the church and the vulnerable communities.
We are still challenged by other community members who are in hilly areas. They need support. They deserve it actually. But the challenge is we are incapacitated.
However, He states that there is still help needed to extend water to the communities of Igayaza and Chichwekano, which is hilly and doesn't have access to safe water. Ainembabazi Merab, a native from Igayaza, Kaharo Ward, Isingiro Town Council reports. Since she was born, by the time she made 7 years, she started fetching water from this dam, which everybody depends on within the community. She adds, it has been their source of water for survival for both humans and animals. This water flows from the bare hills during rainy seasons, collecting into the dam. The frequent occurrence of drought and low rainfall patterns has resulted in reduced availability of safe drinking water. The water produced and distributed by the authorities does not match the demand, thereby creating shortages. In some areas, citizens have never gotten piped water for their lives. Twichirize Robert, a resident in Igayaza with a family size of 5, has been in the village for the past 12 years. And he reports their only source of water is water dams, which has managed to make them survive and their animals survive. Without that, they have to move 4 miles in search for water in dry seasons, which is a challenge for the school-going children, since they play a part in collecting water for domestic use, hence hindering their performances in class, in that they report to school sometimes late due to scarcity of water. Kamhanda Yelokam, a chairperson of Igayaza, reports he has over 110 households with the biggest challenge of lack of access to safe water. He says the only source of water they get is through rainwater from the dams and water harvest tanks. He reports the cost of a 20-liter jerrycan of water is around 1,000 to 1,500 Ugandan shillings during the dry season, which makes the cost of living expensive in the village. This water in dams is shared with their animals, which puts their lives at risks from diseases. He adds, they have to move 4 miles to collect water since they are on the top of the hill and yet water is at the bottom side in the trading centers. His humble prayer and request is to well-wishers, government agencies, other partners who can help motorize water to their community. Then the community members will be grateful for life. However, when Engineer Gerald was asked about how water could be delivered to Igayaza community and Chichwekano, he further explained that the water harvested is over 77.7 cubic liters, which can serve over 380 families, averagely with 10 people in a family, even if an individual would consume 20 liters in a day per family. He explains that one of the ways of extending water to the affected villages with steep slopes was through motorizing using solar panels or generators. According to the report by the Water Supply Atlas on 10th November 2021, access to safe water was defined as the ratio of people served by the safe water point and piped water supply to the total population. Results indicate Isingiro Town Council has 31% access to safe water, and yet Igayaza village doesn't have any safe water point and piped water supply to the total populations. This indicates 0% access to the safe water in Igayaza village and therefore immediate intervention is needed to save the lives of the entire community. Water and sanitation is a basic human right that, when availed responsibly, will improve the quality of life for you and your children.